pray that I return alive because next time I might come back in a coffin." These were the exact words Daniel Carter said to his father as he left for the United States from Texas. Daniel Carter, 35, lived a peaceful life in San Diego, California, with his wife Emily and their 7-year-old son. The couple, originally from Dallas, Texas, had moved to California after landing jobs there. Every year they would travel back to Dallas to spend time with their families. In October 2015, Daniel, Emily, and their son took a holiday and flew to Texas. After spending 2 weeks with family, it was time to go back. On October 12th, they said goodbye to everyone and left for San Diego. Daniel's parents had no idea that this would be the last time they would see their son. After arriving in California at night, Daniel, Emily, and their son had dinner and then went to bed. The next morning, as usual, Emily woke up early. She went to the kitchen to make coffee and then tried to wake up Daniel. But today was different. Daniel didn't wake up. At first, Emily thought maybe he was just tired, but when he didn't respond, she started to get worried. She shook him, calling his name. Still nothing. Her worry turned into panic. Her heart raced and fear took over. She started calling his name louder, tears filling her eyes. The loud cries reached the neighbors and they rushed to her house. When they came inside and saw Daniel lying there lifeless, they quickly called for an ambulance. The paramedics arrived, but after checking Daniel, they confirmed the worst. Daniel had passed away. Emily was in complete shock. The news hit her like a heavy blow. Her world seemed to fall apart in an instant. 3 days later, on October 15th, Daniel's body was sent back to Dallas. His family received the heartbreaking news of his death. When Daniel's father heard this, his heart shattered and he began to cry uncontrollably. In the midst of his grief, Daniel's father remembered something his son had said before leaving: "I might come back to Texas in a coffin." Daniel had also mentioned these words to some of his relatives, but none of them ever imagined that they would come true so soon. Just 3 days later, on October 18th, Daniel's body was brought to his family home in Dallas from San Diego. After completing the necessary rituals, Daniel was laid to rest behind the house, in a place where he had once played as a child. The sadness was overwhelming, and it felt as though the whole town had lost a son. Meanwhile, Emily couldn't stop crying. For 5 long days, she stayed at Daniel's house mourning the loss of the love of her life, but she knew she couldn't stay in Texas forever. She would lose her job. With a heavy heart, she made a tough decision to go back to California. On October 24th, Emily and her son traveled back to San Diego, ready to face the challenges ahead. Every Saturday, she would call Daniel's parents in Texas. 10 months after Daniel's death, on August 12, 2016, his father received a shocking call from the police in San Diego. The officers told him that his son hadn't died from a heart attack as everyone had believed. He had been murdered. And even more shocking, Daniel's wife Emily had been arrested on suspicion of being involved in the murder. This news hit Daniel's family like a thunderbolt. If Daniel had died from a heart attack, how could Emily possibly be accused of murder? The truth came out through Daniel's autopsy report. The report showed that Daniel had not died naturally. Instead, he had been poisoned with cyanide. The level of cyanide in his blood was so high that it was clear it had been the cause of his death. To make things even more mysterious, the report also found traces of a sedative in his system, suggesting that he might have been drugged before being poisoned. The police knew they had to investigate carefully. They didn't rush to question Emily. Instead, they kept the details hidden from her. They placed Emily under surveillance, tracking her calls, following her movements, and checking her bank records. And then, after months of watching her, they found a shocking clue. Emily had transferred Daniel's car to a man named Ryan Matthews. Shortly after that, she opened a joint bank account with him and transferred all of Daniel's money into it. Ryan was a former classmate of Emily's from college. The police started digging into his background and discovered a dark secret. Emily and Ryan had been in a secret relationship for years. Even after marrying Daniel, Emily had never truly let go of Ryan. October 14th, 2015, the night of the murder. When Daniel came home from work, Emily handed him an avocado milkshake. What Daniel didn't know was that she had secretly mixed sleeping pills into it. Minutes after drinking it, he lost consciousness. Ryan, who had been hiding in the house, stepped out. Seeing Daniel unconscious, he told Emily to prepare an orange juice. This time, they mixed a deadly amount of cyanide into it. With no mercy, they forced Daniel to drink the poison. Within moments, foam started coming out of his mouth. His body convulsed, and he took his last breath. That night, Emily slept right next to Daniel's lifeless body. The next morning, she acted heartbroken, calling for help and pretending to grieve. She even showed their young son his father's body. But no secret stays buried forever. Ryan made a crucial mistake. He started visiting the same bar too often, drinking heavily. One day, he got too drunk and started talking too much. A police officer who had been watching him pretended to be a regular customer and struck up a conversation. Drunk and careless, Ryan confessed everything. The officer checked Ryan's phone and found hundreds of messages and call logs between him and Emily, including messages discussing how they would poison Daniel. With this strong evidence, the police arrested both of them. Emily was sentenced to 22 years in prison without parole. Ryan received 27 years. Emily begged the judge for a shorter sentence, saying she had a son, but the judge replied, "It's better for the child that you're not with him." Daniel's parents won custody of the boy. No matter how much someone tries to hide the truth, it always finds a way to rise to the surface. Justice was served,